And we're now recording. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And this is the first little chat about what is a CRM and why small business solopreneurs should and can use a CRM for little to no money, and you really get started in engaging with your audience, with your contacts, and really building better relationships. So really how I started after about 15 years of corporate accounting, found myself working on creating my own business. And when I went out networking, I collected a lot of business cards. Actually, here on my desk, I actually have several boxes of business cards. And it's not really the most efficient way to follow up with people by just putting business cards in a shoebox or in the desk drawer. So what I ended up doing was asking a colleague of mine to say what tool he used to track, record and trace, keep track of his contacts. One of the products he recommended was a product called Nimble. So it's Nimble, nimble.com. And it's from the gentleman, John Ferrer, who created Nimble, originally created the product called Goldmine. And what Nimble is, it's a social CRM. So what you can do is you put in the name of your person, their email address, and Nimble actually goes out and finds their different contacts online, finds their Google+, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter accounts, and brings it all into one spot. And then you can actually engage. You can actually send out tweets directly through Nimble, and really, what it found was a great way to sort out business cards as well as get engaged. So it's just a way to. There's different tools. So I know lots of people. You start out using email. And email is a nice way to get in contact with people, but it doesn't really keep track of who they are, what they're doing, and how to build a better relationship with them. Some tools also out there available. LinkedIn has what they call their version of a CRM. You can sort of put your contacts, tracks your emails inside of LinkedIn. Again, it's a handy free tool, but it doesn't really allow you to contact people, outside of LinkedIn. So not sure if I see there's a couple other people on. I know Michael's there, but not necessarily, his internet's not necessarily working to jump on the call. Not sure if anyone else wants to hop on one of the seats to have a little chat, but if not, I guess I get to do all the talking today. So really, Michael's going to call in. We'll see if Michael can. See if Michael's going to come on here. Hey, Michael.
It worked. It's a miracle.
It's working.
Well, for this moment, it's working.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for rescuing me there. It's all good.
Oh, that's okay.
It's
so it's CRM. Having grown up in an era where people literally would have Rolodexes that were 1.5 feet wide on a corporate desk for a secretary, and she would keep everybody's information for the vice president on that Rolodex. And if you were lucky, she might go and look up the one you needed and say, oh, and she'd type it up and give you a copy, and you were allowed to share one of the contacts from the vice president's file. So your way is so much better, and I am a little contact management out. I'm a little fed up with trying to keep up. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, and it's again, we even when you get this, when you get the tools, it's still a struggle to say, we met a bunch of people last week at the training session there, and I have business cards, but you still have to have the the systems, the steps, the assigning some time to put those cards into this. It just they don't automatically jump from your desk into the system. So it's
Nope.
And it's really, and like I said, it can be a challenge to say it's. And generally, you won't necessarily need more. Lots of people struggle with, I just need more, I just need more, I just need more. And really, we say, well, you don't need more contacts. You just take the ones that you already have and build relationships and nurture the ones you already have and engage.
Magic words. Build relationships. Engage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I had my favorite one. I had a client for 40 programs a year for 8 years.
Wow.
It's my best relationship ever. It was just like, wow.
Yeah. And it's it still is the rule, the 80-20 rule that, probably 80% of your business comes from 20% of your contacts. So if you know who those 20% are and you're able to engage with them more, one of the things we talk about, how do you grow your business? It's, get a bigger share of the wallet. Why go and get more customers? Why not just add what we're doing with the Udemy and the training program there is just add another course. You already have students. Just figure out another course for those students and grow, and offer something to that existing customer base. Too often we go out.
Yes.
We go out hunting and forget about farming, and it's really to say, well, why not farm your existing customers?
And you never know how you manage your CRM is going to bring you in more or new by managing and farming your existing clients aren't always spending money this week, this month. I had clients work with me. And I've done 30 plus events for one group, but it was in clusters. I did 18 months, then nothing for 18 months to 2 years, and then a cluster of events, and then nothing. And it was like, oh, I could get used to that every 18 months doing a month's project for them because they paid really well.
Mm-hmm.
But staying in contact, sharing what's new, staying in touch with finding out what their pain points were and see if anything I had could help. And that's where a good CRM program, I believe, would pay off. It would make it easier.
Yeah, and it's and like I said, it's just figuring out just little things like this. We talk about, even before they become customers, it's the it's the 6 to 7 touch points. So something simple as if you're following them on Facebook to be able to say happy birthday to them. Figure out different things on when things that are life events that are going on to just to engage with them. And it's not always about selling. It's to figure out how do you have the interaction.
The happy birthday is an interesting point you raise. I have a couple of happy birthday videos, 15-second version and 22-second version on YouTube, and I post and clip it and put it in people's pages when it's their birthday. Well, I have a gentleman that I've talked to. Yeah, once or twice a year, I talk to this gentleman who works in Europe and works in Africa, and we've had some meaty conversations, and we've had some frivolous conversations. It's social media. Well, I sent him a happy birthday in October, and what do I get? I'm glad you reminded me that I meant to talk to you. I'm going to a conference planning event. Well, I'm going to a big conference, so all because I said happy birthday. And I reminded him of my existence. Because I didn't know he was on a conference event. We were just talking business and the frustration of staff churning. Where, maybe you got 5 people you're selling to or connecting to with your product or service in an organization. But out of the 5 to 7 of them, 5 of them are gone every 18 months. On to newer things in the company are gone. And we were talking about how do you stay memorable in a firm when you keep losing 4 or 5 of your 7 key contacts. So I was sharing what I knew from the old days because I'm 20 years older than him, and he was giving me his perspective. And it's like, and we were just brainstorming back and forth. But a good CRM plan, I would think you could put in not only the decision makers and the influencers, but maybe the gatekeepers. So I talked about the gatekeeper who I gave food recipes to, because I needed to stay in touch with the firm, and the people I tried to talk to kept, every time I got close to an appointment, they'd get promoted or quit. That's really tough. But are you going to run away from a $10,000 a month client? I wanted that business for my client, but I was doing some sales helping them out on a sales issue. So turns out the gatekeeper, the receptionist, was the key, because at one point she said, Mr. Jones, I forget his real name, Mr. Jones is sick. You should come in and ask for an appointment with the new VP. He hasn't told me he won't take visitors or appointments. He forgot. So, boom, off I went. So I had a really good CRM for that group, and it made it worthwhile. But in the last while, I've grown tired of the one I had, so that's why I'm here.
Okay, and which one have you used in the past?
Oh boy, I'm so visual. I can tell you that it was an orange-colored logo, and that's about all I remember. Isn't that awful?
Yeah, it's just
I used the beta version of somebody's once. I used to use, believe it or not, in the 90s, I used Microsoft Works. I had several columns of keywords, and I would just search by keywords and key cities, and boom. So I had a healthcare and education and a business database all rolled into one, and I just built it out. I ran into a problem, though, when I couldn't export it. All that work, and I couldn't find anybody that would export it, because they were all like, wow, you did what with that software? So even Microsoft said they knew of no way to export it. But that was the 90s. That's the last time I had a big one. I had like 8,000 clients, past, present, and future in there.
I think like we're using, we started using Infusionsoft now as well with our business. And again, Infusionsoft's more than just a CRM. Infusionsoft's the whole, automated marketing and but again, it's going back to my, it's really, I'll tell you a really quick, a short little story is, I actually have an undergrad degree in mathematics, a Bachelor of Math from Waterloo. And when we're doing it, I was going to be an accountant. So we're digging math and management accounting, and we're like, we're all going to be accountants. Why are you making us take all these computer science courses and database courses? And we're like, why am I going to need to know that? We're going to be accountants. And then my first, one of my last work terms, I was at CN Rail, and we're actually doing SQL extractions out of the database and doing database cleanup.
Okay.
I'm like, that's why you made us take computer science, because you understand what's a primary key and data integrity and all this other good stuff. So it's at
one point I had to bring in to my small 3-person business a power expert, because I was getting, according to Microsoft, I was the only person in the world, because I had to send them samples, that had database corruption. And it turned out that my power was dirty. And this is the 90s, when I didn't have surge protectors and battery backups for clean power. I was plugged straight in through the surge protector into the grid, and I was having low power. I was operating, my power protection guy or power expert said, now I use a Macintosh, don't hold it against me, but he said, your machine's operating on 94 volts. How is that possible? So we think that our database corruption was because of low voltage, because the code was showing up in the fields. So now I have expensive, $200+ battery backups and power cleaners. I have a power cleaner that is a hospital grade I plug into. So no spikes. And if it goes too low, it beeps.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, we actually have, that's it. I guess that's the thing, is when you're, as a entrepreneur, home-based, we forget about all the technology that we had in our corporate days. I know now I work part-time at a private golf club, and we have the battery backups there because we're up in Stouffville, and the power tends to go out for not really frequent, but more
I
often than you want.
I have burnt out. I've had break or toasted 4 surge protectors at the $200 to $300 range. That's why I now have a hospital grade surge protector in the wall that the battery backup plugs into, because I have real power problems here.
Okay.
So
And that's the
Alfredo's
thing,
listening
even
in.
here, right?
What's that?
Even with
Sorry.
this, even doing this event, right? Because you got the battery backup, or you got the battery on the laptop, but if my router goes out,
Oh,
then
my
there
router's in
goes.
battery backup. My
Okay.
router modem's in the battery backup too.
Yeah.
So
All
yeah.
these things to think about, as again to think about as we start to do this. It's not just about this,
Yep.
it's not just about the CRM. One of the challenges again with Nimble, for example, is that Nimble is cloud based. So what happens is it's nice, but if your internet connection goes out, there goes your there goes your database. Now they do have you can have a version of it, an app version of it on your phone, so you can still see your contacts, but the main database sits in is a web-based cloud in the cloud. So again,
Yeah.
if your home internet goes out, but I guess if your internet goes out, lots of your work, but your phone can still work, and it's really
Yeah.
to have multiple sources of some of the data points so that you can continue to work.
No, and that's one of the things is that I'm in the bottom 20% of net speed for all of Canada on my best days and bottom 1% on my worst days. So it's very hard to do anything in the cloud.
Yeah, and again, I'm running a Mac, and as a part-time CFO for some businesses, what we end up putting into is solutions like FreshBooks, and even using products like HubDoc and some other other accounting, and it's all cloud-based because it's nice because I can sit here in Etobicoke and service clients from the comfort of my own home. But same thing, if the internet, we're fortunate here where Toronto Hydro went and buried all the power lines. So when we had the big ice storm,
Yes.
we only lost power for about 8 seconds. But there's lots of areas here in Etobicoke where power goes out on a more regular basis. That it's all these things we talk about as it's interesting how the conversation expands from just a CRM to the other intricacies and the other components that are needed.
What's behind it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alfredo's asking us, is that the Nimble we're talking about?
Yep, and that is the version of Nimble. So yeah, and when I can, maybe I'll find a link, because as a one of the things that I actually signed like a certified partner that we started using it, and then you say, well, if you're going to use it, you might as well refer it. So I think
right, exactly.
Probably not tonight. I didn't get myself organized enough, but I will find a link where if people want to test it out, there's a free 30-day trial, and I think I can probably get you a dollar or two off the price. But for sure, you can just get started with with Nimble on their free version. I still run their free version. I think their paid version goes to $15 to $20 a month, and it has an option to add a second user. So if you have a virtual assistant or admin, you can set them up so again they can do some of your data entry, or if we're looking to hire a virtual admin to do some calling for us, so I could actually set him up with access so that we're running the same database.
Right, of course.
Yeah, it is a nice little solution for a solopreneur. Actually, one of the things, if people, what I'll do is I'll put up my email address, And if people want, is actually about a year ago, I think it's still quite relevant. About a year ago, a colleague sent me a PDF report of the top 40 CRM products out there, and it really does a good graphic as to who they are and sort of what space they play in. So anywhere from Salesforce to Infusionsoft and Nimble, saying, okay, are you a company of one, or are you a company of 500? Here are the different CRMs that fit in. So what I will do is I'm just going to put my email address in the dialog box here. And
now, do they allow you to set up your own? Do they allow you to set up your own fields?
That's a really good question. I know Nimble has some. What Nimble has is you can actually set up tags. So similar to Infusionsoft as well, where you're setting up tags. So again, I could tag, the 20 people, Michael, that we were with the other night or the other day in that training. Okay. So I could say, here are the 20 people that were all associated with reverse marketing. So I could create a reverse marketing tag and attach that tag to yourself, to Natalie, to Gordon, to Scott Patton. And then what happens is, now what Nimble allows us to do is connect Nimble to MailChimp. So then if I want to send out a group email, I can now send that out through, or send something out, collectively to that group, and it will create a mailing list inside of Nimble based on that flag. So really, you're exporting your contacts out of MailChimp, or out of Nimble into MailChimp. You could also do it with Constant Contact. And really, one of the nice things that I'm not getting paid by Nimble to do. It's not a Nimble conversation today, but it is a product that works well for small businesses and entrepreneurs. But what they do is they play with all the applications. So they actually have done APIs for about 127 different applications. So one of the things we talked about last week was I can have my customer list in Nimble, and then I can connect it to FreshBooks. And now I'm going to do my invoicing. I can do my invoicing in FreshBooks, but I'm going to have all of my contact information still in Nimble. So again, just from a data entry and data integrity, I'm not having all these different products that are disjointed. I'm going to have one CRM product that sits in the middle, and then I'm going to have and really what we end up saying, it's a business in a box solution. So you have your either MailChimp, Constant Contact for your marketing side. You have FreshBooks for your invoicing, your expense tracking. And then really you just start looking at quote roller. So if you're doing quotes, you can do your quotes in that product, and then that product, and it really doesn't matter, it does matter, but it all interconnects. Now there's other products out there. I know we worked with a client. Actually, he's going to be speaking at a March 9th event here in Toronto. His name's Roman Bodarchuk, one of the top online sales and marketing guys in the real estate development business. And he's running a really good sized business, and he's running it with FreshBooks, Xero, and then he's a big HubSpot. So he's using HubSpot from his marketing point of view. And then HubSpot, they have their own CRM as well. And actually it integrates with Gmail. So you're able to just connect that way. Then he was using a product called Highrise, So again, there's so many different products out there, and it's really to say what industry you're in. For example, he was dealing with a lot of real estate in that side, in which case high rise was a good solution for him. Really the key is to find something that integrates with your other products.
Right. I have to be going in a couple of minutes, but I wanted to drop in and.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Michael. You got the conversation started here instead of just me listening.
Well, you got 18
to
people dropped in, and you still got quite a few here.
Yeah, so,
hello from Toronto, everyone. And I think it's Scotland.
Yeah, it's really it was really cool the other night of when we were on with Scott Patton to see, the map of of North America with all the different East Coast, West Coast.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone else wants to, who's on the call, if they want to hop into if you need to leave soon, Michael, there's still, the cool thing about Blab is there's still 2 empty seats that if someone else wants to jump in a seat, and we can have a continued conversation, but
otherwise people are going to very valuable. And I know
like I said,
I just can't wait to have the internet for this building I live in upgraded. They tell me this is the year, but they've been saying that for 4 or 5 years. So I have, when you're in the bottom 1% internet speed, some of my acquaintances and connections in Africa in remote areas have internet speed like I have. I had dial-up faster when I lived in the middle of Eastern Ontario on a farm.
I'm pretty happy with my signal here. I moved down to the basement the office in the basement, which is a lot closer to the router. Again, as long as the sound's good for you and the image looks good, so it's all these things to test.
Well, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Thanks for letting me join. It's been great.
Thank you, Michael.
And you're welcome. And Joe One World TV uses Apticavo, so I have to go off and look at that one just out of curiosity.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
I see.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Great. Thanks, Michael. All right. Well, Michael's gone, so now it's just me here. I don't know, Joe, or if anyone else wants to hop in the open seat. I'm not sure. I see Tim is here. I'm not sure, Tim, if you want to jump on and we can talk. I see you're using HubSpot synced with Salesforce. Again, HubSpot is a really good tool. Like I said, we had a client that's using it. Does a lot of Facebook ads and landing pages. So again, the HubSpot is a great tool from a customer engagement point of view. One of the things that his whole model is, as soon as someone fills out a contact form off of a Facebook page to a contact form into HubSpot, and then it pretty much gives you an instant email notification. And his whole model is that if someone's looking at buying a condo on a real estate development online, is really they're hot for about 30 minutes. So his whole thing is that actually engage with them within 5 to 10 minutes of filling out that contact form through HubSpot, because at that moment they were interested in that property. So why wouldn't you call and engage with them right away? So it's a really, once it's set up, it is a product. That tool is productivity. It's and as well as it integrates, you can actually see who's with something like HubSpot, you can see who's been on, who's opened what email, who's watched what video, what websites they've gone to, how long they've been there. Both HubSpot and Infusionsoft do that. And again, they're great tools to say, depending on, it all depends on who's your target customer, what business are you in. If it's real estate, from our experience, if you're dealing in real estate, then HubSpot is a great solution. I see Tim connecting that to Salesforce, which is again a great tool. If using something like Salesforce, if you have a multiple sales team, something like Nimble is again we talked about is great for a solopreneur, but not necessarily for a larger sales force. Seeing someone's asking certified role model. I'm not sure what that question is, but I see there's some other people have joined, so I'm not sure. Like I said, I have a couple empty seats. If someone wants to take up one of the seats, you can come on and we can talk about what solution you're currently using, or if you want to talk about what your current business is and see what kind of solution may work best for you. Well, there's anything about being the only one talking and trying to say hello to online here to everyone as well. And if people have other questions, if you want to just put your questions on the right-hand side of the dialog box, we can see what, or maybe what I'll do is I'll just put a question over here and say, what CRM products do people currently use? And someone else is actually also asking about Aptivo, and I've not heard of Aptivo. So the great thing about doing this is I'm gonna get to learn about some other products. So maybe, I don't know, Joe, if you're available, Joe, you could hop in a seat here and you could tell us about what Aptivo is. I have not heard of it. Not sure what it's best used for. If you can put a note there to say how you use it and what business you're in, to say, who's it best for. Oh, here comes Joe now. Are you there, Joe? I have Joe's almost there, but I don't have an image for you, Joe. So we'll see what's yeah, someone's asking about weird names showing up. I guess it all depends on how people it's based on your usernames are based on your Twitter feeds. Joe's trying again here. Any luck, Joe? I don't see you. You can also, based on your internet connection. Oh, Joe's calling in from the UK, so that's fantastic. It's a fun. This is my, I think, second experience here with Blab. It's really cool. Michael was on earlier and gave me some great advice. Is make sure you put in what time zone. When I said 8:30, we think about Toronto and sort of the Eastern time zone and forget that Blab is around the world. So Michael's comment was, next time make sure you clearly identify the time zone that the call is starting at, because people are coming in and out all the time. I know we were on a call on Sunday night, a week ago Sunday night, and they were on there for 2.5 hours, and people kept coming in and out all the time. So it's quickly put in here comment, but not sure who else is on here. I think Tim, looks like Tim's still here. Joe's going to try one more time. Still looking very gray. And no audio. That's too bad, Joe. I would, maybe we can try another time. I'll definitely let people know when we're going to do our next call. I'm planning to do probably shorter blabs, but I'm hoping to do one have a regular Monday night at this time blab, and it's a fun way to engage. All right. Well, Tim says he's going to restart. So, like I said, we'll hang out here for a little bit. I can ramble on a little bit longer and see if someone else comes in or out. Really, what we talked about is, what is a CRM? I think most of the people on here know what a CRM is. Tim's asking if this is a regular show. This is the first one, so this is my first show. And yes, we're looking to do this I'm looking to do this Monday nights at 8:30. And really, it's more not just about CRMs. One of the things, again, as a CPA, CMA, management accounting, part-time CFO for small to medium-sized businesses, is talking about systems. Systems for success, systems for results. I'll put a link to our website here as well. Partnered with my wife, we have a company called for Results, and it's about communications and really about growth strategies for entrepreneurs. With growth strategies, I'm numbers, she's words, and I say that it's really about putting in systems and processes to help automate operations for small businesses. To say, automate your operations, let the systems work work in your business for you, so that you can work on your business rather than in your business. And really, as entrepreneurs, small business owners should be spending, closer to 80% of their time on sales and marketing, and less time on admin. And generally, the administration time is a lot larger, and it's really to look at, say, how do you put in the different systems to shrink that admin time, and give yourself more time to work in your business. So again, our CRM is a great tool as a first step. I think next week we're going to probably talk about next Monday night, talk about, again, systems, but maybe more from an accounting point of view. Some affordable accounting solutions where lots of small business people start out with Excel or paper ledgers, and really go into really affordable product like FreshBooks, like QuickBooks Online. There's a New Zealand company called Xero, which is XCRO. And again, all great accounting systems that allow, again, streamlining the whole, invoicing process. To say, it's great to, it's great to get customers, but you need to get cash back as well. So how do you invoice customers in a timely manner, and then give them an invoice that they can pay on online as well? So I think that's about 9:05. I've been rambling on for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and I think Tim's still here, but I'm going to sign off, I think, for tonight, and then I will post the time and topic for next Monday night's blab. And again, I want to thank everyone that's joined and came in and out tonight, and have a great night. Bye for now.